Obviously there is unrest in the Labour Party, and it's not the first time people have talked about replacing Brown, and I think the big question for Labour is, you know, do they want to keep Brown for the next election?
You get the feeling that it's all there behind the scenes, and the reality is they don't all support him, and maybe they don't believe he's right for the job, and if they don't believe he's right for the job,
then how are we going
how are we supposed to support him and vote for him and believe in him?
Is he still electable? Is this because we haven't elected him, have we? We haven't.
No, this
when we think about it, when we think about it, I didn't elect.
You didn't elect Peter Manson either.
No, but he still does. I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, but to be the Prime Minister and to have that status.
But mind you, we never voted for Tony Blair. We voted for the Labour Party or the Conservative Party, and they choose their leader. But at least both parties will recognise that we're going to have major cuts in public services, in many different aspects of our life, to keep this economy going. Because at the rates we're going, I mean, since the recession, Brown is just, you know, still borrowing hand over fist, and really what he should be doing is looking at, you know, the last major depression in the 30s, where we had to have major cutbacks just to keep this country alive. And you know, you look at our credit rating, we're on the verge of being downgraded. And if that happens, that's a disaster for everyone in this country.
And you of all people should be able to manage that.
That's right, he was the Chancellor. You know, people say he got us into the mess in the first place.
Yeah. But he should be, in a lot of ways, best placed to get us out of it. But he doesn't
things should have
seem
started before now. Why wait till after the election before you bring in these measures?
Because they're not going to be popular.
But then again, would you have more faith in him if he did do it? Yeah. Like you say, the guy's got some guts and he's going to do it. But exactly. You just can't read the rules.
It's about making any leadership is about making difficult and unpopular decisions. It's not about doing what people want you to do.
I think a lot of people feel we're rather in a state of sort of paralysis at the moment because I mean, I just wish they'd have the election tomorrow. Then we could get on.
Get it over with.
We could get on and make the decisions. And whatever party comes in, there's got to be economic restructuring, there's got to be public spending cuts. No one will make those decisions at the moment.
I agree with all that you've said. If we get back to the policies, the policy of the public services, I think if you make a lot of those people, for example, unemployed or whatever you think having less funding will do, well, I think that will then affect the engine of the economy for the country. And I think that in actual fact, we should be looking to these the public services and strengthening them.
But we can't afford
not
to.
The other
we
way.
Can't afford
well,
it.
We can't afford not to.
We can't afford
not to.
They have to try and be a bit creative.
Not for a lot of people in this country. We can't afford not to.
Labour has been on a spending
splurge. First of all, you know, I don't know about anyone else around this table, but the number of people I know personally who one of the, you know, in couples who one of the partners has been made redundant from generally from a private sector organisation. Significant numbers of people have been made redundant because we are still, whatever anyone says, I believe we are still in a recession.
I'm in one of the professions that's most affected by it in the housing market, and it is dire.
Now, what I've seen since the recession started, since our credit crunch has started, and I've seen so many other business associates, people in their own businesses, have had to close their business, a perfectly good business, because the banks decided we're not interested in lending you money, we're taking our money back. It's happened to so many small businesses across the country. And what annoys me is these are the banks that we own.